Mortgage delinquencies are on the rise. Hey everybody, Scott Walters, welcome to the channel. If you're new, I want to thank you for coming. If you're returning, I want to thank you for your continued support. Before we get into today's red hot topic, I'm going to politely ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Please watch to the end for my final thought and hit the bell icon so you're notified when new videos are released. It's very important to stay close to the channel in these very, very tricky times. All right, folks, welcome to the channel. It's always an honor and a privilege to be with you. I hope you're all doing great. Buckle up and strap in. I got a hard-hitting pull, no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows and sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. Folks, we got a massive issue to talk about today. We got a massive issue circulating with the U.S. housing market. Mortgage defaults are on the rise. Should be no shocker to most of us watching the channel. If you're new, please subscribe right away. There's never been a more important time in history to get ahead of the curve, forward thinking, critical thinking. This one is going to provide blowback, and we're seeing it happen right in front of our face. This runaway inflation is now going to be tamed by risen interest rates, but risen interest rates mean tanking the real estate market, and the people that just bought in the height of a super bubble went all in, spending their life savings, now seeing their basically earning power shrink because the cost of living is become out of control. They can no longer make their housing payments. That's just what happens. It makes sense, right? As a level-headed realist, you got to understand maybe that's what happens when you buy at the top of a super bubble, and then you get inflation to contend with. When you bought, inflation wasn't there, and all of a sudden here's inflation robbing you of your earning power. Now you're just looking, I know you're doing this. I know you're going to the grocery store looking at bargain brands, getting burger instead of steaks. You're doing whatever you can now to save money. It's insane. I've seen it at the gas stations where people are in line for the 10 cents a gallon less gas than the brand name gas across the street to maybe save $2 a tank of gas. That's what happens in a recession. That's what happens at the front end of recession. But like the Great Recession of 2008, this is what happened then as well. Before the recession started robbing the America of jobs, people try to do what they can to hang on by their fingernails and save money. And this is the thing about mainstream media, and they did this in the last bubble. They're reporting on the facts, but then they try to sugarcoat it somehow in there and say that they think maybe that this time is different and could sustain itself and blah, 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 blah. Who believes this stuff anymore? Who believes that this massive, weird super bubble in the real estate industry could sustain itself? It's having blowback. We hit the top of the bubble. It's no longer growing. It's reversing course. Anybody that doesn't see that, I don't even know what to say. I mean, please share, send them a link to this video. They need to understand that this is the blowback from an artificially created economy. It's just the realities of what we are currently living in. And what's going on, friends, is when you start seeing people be delinquent in their mortgage, that's their house that they put all this pressure to get. So when that starts to fail, that means that everything they've done trying to buy burger instead of steak isn't working. And now they're behind on their housing payment. And believe me, like I've said before, once your house is no longer worth what it's paid, you don't own it anymore. It owns you, and you got to hang on and try to weather the storm. It's polarizing. It's panic and fear. It's such a painful place to have to live mentally. And like I said, this comes down to the psychology of people, the psychology of sales. This will always be that. And as a trained salesman, let me just tell you, I've seen this before. That's why I'm here trying to raise awareness and ring the bell. Let's run this article, skim through it, and then we'll meet back here and wrap it up. All right, friends, let's skim on through this. Serious mortgage delinquencies are up 55% over pre-pandemic levels. But what this means for the housing market isn't what you might think. Really? I don't know. I know what I'm thinking. Let's continue. The number of borrowers who are 3 or more payments past due on their mortgage is up 55% over pre-pandemic levels, according to new data from mortgage technology and data provider Black Knight. While there were approximately 400,000 serious delinquencies remaining before the pandemic, today, there are roughly 640,000, the data shows. Well, that seems to me like it's growing, but I don't know. Let's continue. All right, let's continue on. I kind of find this a little bit funny that you can say this in a super bubble, but at the end of the day, despite a few hiccups here and there, most data indicates that the housing market is doing pretty well, pros say. What pros? What pros are willing to say that this market is doing well in a super bubble? Let's continue. The majority of people seem capable of keeping up with their mortgage payments. Really? And this is what economists and real estate pros told MarketWatch Picks. Well, what real estate pros? People that need commission checks? I mean, who thinks that this one sustains itself? All the writing is now on the wall. Come on, let's get back to the video. So there you go. Black Knight reporting on what's going on with mortgage delinquencies. And just to help drive our point home, I don't need these articles. I already knew what was going on here a long, long time ago, but I know many of you appreciate when we can provide a little bit of data or whatever, some news articles. But like I've said, once mainstream media starts to report on these things, it's already too late. The only way to get ahead of this one is to be forward thinking, critical thinking. The first step of getting past a problem, admit there's a problem. Doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result, is the definition of insanity. I've seen this before in the last real estate bubble. I knew I was going to sit this one out. I almost drank the Kool-Aid in this one. I had a moment of clarity. I said, I'm sitting this one out. And you are all seeing why. I've always said I would never suggest anybody do anything that I'm not doing myself. Right now, I believe the smartest thing that anybody can do is, if you can, I understand everybody's real estate needs are very, very different. I've gotten the calls from, we need a rental, our landlord wants to sell, or we just sold our house, we need replacement housing, or we are relocating. There is so many different things. And like I said, 95% of all millionaires made their money in real estate. I'm one of the only agents that came and said, hey, I will put you on the sidelines. I will earn your business later. I believe this one's going to have some blowback. We're at the very, very front end of that now. We're seeing the reverse course happen. We have a lot of pain to get through before we're going to see the actual drops that real estate's capable of taking in a big, 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 massive global everything bubble. It's going to have big, big, big global blowback. And we're seeing the fractures, aren't we? We're seeing the fractures of our global economy, the political climate, the financial climate. Everything is starting to look pretty sketchy out there. I know you're all seeing that. So again, iron sharpens iron as we continue to stay close to each other and acknowledge the elephant in the room. Hopefully when it happens, we're less paralyzed by it because we've heard somebody talk about it in a way that hopefully makes sense. And final thoughts, I do come to you as a friend, as a content creator. Somebody wants to see not only win in real estate, win in life. Understanding buying in the height of the biggest super bubble ever artificially produced might have some blowback. Buying outside the bubble might be the right thing to do. The heavy hitters are doing exactly that. They got out of these markets a long time ago. It's market manipulation. They were tipped off. They got out. The rest of middle America is stuck in these markets. I've always said, it's funny with finances, any money that was given to us for free, we put much less value on anything we had to work for. We have to be willing to work for what we have. I've always said, I'd rather be happy making less money than miserable making more. If I'm going to be miserable, I better be making a lot of money so I can quit soon. I knew I would be happier making less money in this super bubble, sitting it out, helping others do the same if that's what it took. I'm in a unique position to do that as a real estate agent because I don't rely purely on commission checks. I have investment properties. That's my ultimate goal, is eventually take you guys to investment properties, whether you can convert a portion of the house to create a rental on it, buy a duplex, fourplex, whatever it takes. I always say I'd be willing to sacrifice, live in a shoebox temporarily to own a few rental properties. It doesn't take a bunch. Just a few can create a lot of financial freedom. And at the end of the day, that's what we all want. And we all want free time. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Social media links are in the description of this video if you'd like to contact me there, along with links to channels I've appeared on I think you might enjoy. If you're watching from your television set today, another video is coming into your screen at this time, along with an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. If you're interested in buying or selling real estate here in America, there's an email in the description for you as well. I have a network of top-rated agents in the world ready to assist you. As always, thank you for your time today. Please go make it count. I'll see you on the next video.